How's everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well. I am back today because I decided that I would do a little bit of beading on video, and you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. I'll do my best to get it up to the camera where you can see it. So anyway, I've got all of my beads laid out here, and the ones that I'm working on is I'm planning on finishing the other half to the set. And then this one I am going to restring the danglies on a lighter thread because it's just not hanging the way I want it to, which I know I said that in the other video, but about 2¼ rows before I'm ready to put the dangles on this. So let me see if I can get it up here where you can see it. Okay, so as you can see the top, there we go, now we're focusing. You can see where that is. It's coming out of that bead. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go under that thread bridge. So let me see if I can get it up on the video where I can see. But it's really hard to see. So I'm going to put it through there and then I'll just show you. Okay. So here we go. Okay. And I've got my one bead on there already. And we're going to go back up through that bead. And then we're going to pull it tight. And usually what I'll do is I'll hold my thumb on this thread as it's coming back up. That kind of helps keeping it, keep it from tangling. And there we go. Oh, up to the camera, Teresa. Okay, there. There we go. Okay. So the pattern on this one is all of the reds, which is the last row. And I would like to use my camera on the back side of my phone, but it's really hard to do that because then I can't see if, you're able to see it and all that good stuff. I suppose maybe I could set it up on my computer, but anyway. So we're going back up through that bead after we went through the next thread bridge. And what I'm doing here, this is a brick stitch. And when you start this process, you start with a ladder stitch, which basically is just the beads sitting flat on the opening all the way across. And you're just stringing those together so that you can start building on it to create the brick stitch. There's a lot of good tutorials online, and a lot of good patterns will provide those tutorials. If you go to Etsy, you can kind of look through there and see what they have available. And it will list, whether or not they provide instructions how to actually bead it. But if they don't, you can always go to YouTube as well and pick up a video that shows you how to do it. So there we go, back up through that thread bridge. Bead. And we've got our next one. Boy, I'll tell you, getting this out to where it will be noticed and other people find it has been a little difficult, I will say. The learning curve is pretty difficult, and I'll tell you, I don't know what I would have done if their AI help on my website wasn't so robust. And just so you know, I am not sponsored by anyone, not even not Spotify. I don't know why I keep saying that. Doggone it. Shopify. Anyway, so with Shopify, it's been pretty easy because you can just ask their AI assistant what you need to do and what steps you need to take. And there's a lot of things it can actually do for you, or you can take the steps yourself and just follow the directions. But there's a lot of apps you can add that will get your website out there. I'm just kind of discovering what they are. But maybe that's a learning process that, you know, I can provide while I'm talking to you and doing beadwork. If that's something you like or would like to hear about, let me know and I'll do my best to help. I don't know that I'll hit every little detail, but I can help as much as possible. So now we've got the rest of those beads finished for the pattern. And so my next step is going to be to finish up and put my little pink beads here on the rest of it. And I was pretty excited because this week I got my little thread bridges in for the earrings, which is kind of neat because I was trying to discover a way that I could hang them on the posts that wouldn't, you know, be so hard on the earrings. And this is what I kind of came up with. And it's decorative and pretty, and see how the beads are there. But with other earrings, I may not have that option. And so these little thread bridges, I'll show you here. So this is what they look like. They come in a little bag like this. I got these on Temu, which I know probably isn't the best quality. I'm going to hear it in the comments, I'm sure. But we're going to give them a shot. So anyway, here they are, and there's different colors. So here's one of the silver ones. I think I'll grab my little tweezers here. Where did they go? Oh no, my tweezers are not here. Okay, well, we'll use this. See if I can grab it here. So you see that? So to finish up this last row, what I've done here is to start the row, I have picked up 2 beads. Hand behind it. There we go. Now you can see it. Unless what we're going to do is we're going to go here on our thread bridges, and we're going to select the second thread bridge over so that that one bead kind of comes in as opposed to hanging out. And actually, now that I'm looking at my pattern, I think we're actually going to go 2 out. So because my other one, my last row was indented, I'm actually going to go out a bead. So instead of going to the second thread bridge, now I'm actually going to go to the first. I should have looked at that before I told you that. But see, that's what happens when you're a newbie, right? We make mistakes, and I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. So anyway, there's the thread bridge, the first one. And so I'm just going to take my thread up through that with the 2 beads, right? And that's what it's going to look like once it gets on there. Okay. And so what I'll do typically is I'll try to kind of fiddle with them a little bit and get them side by side, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up through this second bead in, okay? So I'm going to go just like this. And I'm going to go through that second bead. Let me bring it up to the camera. I don't know. It's not focusing very well. Any of you girls or guys out there that have been doing this for a while on video, give me some tips on how I can do this better for people, because I seem to be struggling a bit. Anyway, see there, now you can see, hopefully, how it's through that second bead. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pull it tight. And don't worry if your other bead on the outside doesn't want to sit the way it's supposed to. When you add the next row, it will. See? Okay. So then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to move that because that's driving me nuts. Okay. So now I'm going to get another one of these pink beads. These are so gorgeous, y'all. They are really pretty. See? There we go. Love those beads. Okay, and then I'm going to go to that next thread bridge. And I'm going to pull it through. All right. And then from there on out, you just continue with a single bead all the way across. So hopefully that kind of helps, and it kind of shows everybody that, yes, I am actually doing the work. I'm actually doing bead work. I'm not a phantom earring creator. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to end this video because we're coming up on 15 minutes here, and I don't want it to go too long. So I have a Pinterest page created, and it's the same as my business name, La Mouche Way Hummingbird Studio. And that's on Pinterest. I also have a YouTube account now, since I am starting to create a few videos, and also my Shopify account, which is under the same business name. So you'll be able to find me there, as well as Facebook also. So if you want to follow me on any of those mediums, including Instagram, I would be absolutely thrilled. If you have questions or comments, please do leave them for me, and I promise I'll get back to you. Hopefully I'll start to get a few people that are sharing my videos and get me out there a little ways so that people are actually seeing my content. Anyway, it was nice to be able to sit down and actually show you the creative process, and I will come back and create a video when I start on the hoops. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all.